There are some foods that are so iconic they stop being just food and turn into something much bigger. A cultural symbol, a guilty pleasure, and a part of everyday life for millions of people. Nutella is one of those foods. Think about it. The moment you twist open a jar, the sweet aroma of roasted hazelnuts mixed with silky cocoa hits you, and it's almost impossible not to grab a spoon and dive in. For many Americans, Nutella isn't just a spread, it's a comforting memory of childhood breakfasts, late-night cravings, or maybe that one college roommate who always kept a jar hidden in the pantry. But what's fascinating is how this simple chocolate hazelnut spread grew from a clever solution in war-torn Italy to a worldwide phenomenon that sells more than one jar every 2.5 seconds. That's right. By the time you finish watching this video, thousands of new jars will already be in someone's shopping cart somewhere in the world. The story begins during World War II when chocolate was a rare luxury. In Alba, Italy, pastry chef Pietro Ferrero faced a challenge. Cocoa was expensive and scarce, but hazelnuts were abundant in the Piedmont region. With a little creativity, he combined roasted hazelnuts, a small amount of cocoa, sugar, and vegetable fats to create a sweet, creamy paste that could stretch cocoa further and still deliver that chocolatey satisfaction. Originally, this paste was sold in a loaf form, sliced by families and spread on bread. It was first known as Giant de Jot, named after a local carnival character. Customers loved it, but Ferrero wasn't done yet. In 1951, the recipe evolved into Super Crema, a softer, spreadable version. Then Pietro's son, Michel Ferrero, refined it even further and rebranded it as Nutella in 1964. The name was catchy, the packaging modern, and the taste irresistible. Within just a few years, Nutella wasn't only a European favorite, it was becoming a household name across continents. Today, Nutella's magic lies in its ingredients and the carefully guarded recipe that keeps every jar tasting the same no matter where it's made. The heart of Nutella is the hazelnut. These nuts are grown primarily in Turkey, which produces around 70% of the world's supply, along with Italy and a few other regions. Ferrero alone buys about a quarter of the world's hazelnuts every year, around 400,000 tons. That makes Nutella one of the largest players in the entire hazelnut industry. Once the nuts are harvested, they're cleaned, sorted, and roasted at about 302 degrees Fahrenheit. Roasting brings out that rich, nutty aroma that fans instantly recognize. The nuts are then cooled and ground into a fine paste, creamy and smooth, which becomes the foundation of Nutella's texture. The hazelnut paste is then blended with other carefully sourced ingredients: cocoa powder, sugar, skimmed milk powder, and palm oil. Palm oil may sound controversial, but Ferrero insists on using sustainable, certified sources to maintain both quality and environmental responsibility. The company uses only about 7 simple ingredients in total, but the precise ratios remain a tightly held secret. Once combined, the mixture goes through massive steel rollers that refine it until it's smoother than a strand of human hair, about 20 microns in size. This painstaking refining process is what makes Nutella glide effortlessly on toast and melt perfectly in your mouth. But smoothness isn't everything. After refining, the mixture needs to be cooled and tempered carefully. Cooling too fast or too slow could ruin the texture, so factories use specialized systems to lower the temperature gradually while keeping the blend stirred. This step ensures the spread stays creamy, with a rich and balanced flavor. Once ready, the Nutella is transferred into filling machines that work at lightning speed, filling about 50 jars per minute. Each jar is sealed airtight to lock in freshness, labeled with nutritional information and packed for distribution. Worldwide, Nutella factories produce over 365,000 tons of spread annually, shipping jars across more than 160 countries. In the United States, jars fly off grocery shelves at astonishing rates, and it's not hard to see why. Nutella has managed to become both an indulgence and a pantry staple. Of course, what makes Nutella truly special is its versatility. Americans love it spread on toast for breakfast, but it's just as popular swirled into oatmeal, smeared inside crepes, or spooned onto pancakes and waffles. Pair it with strawberries, bananas, or apples, and you've got a simple snack that feels gourmet. It's a secret ingredient in cakes, brownies, cookies, and pastries, often acting as both flavor booster and filling. And then there's the guilty pleasure move, digging in straight from the jar with a spoon. There's something universal about that little moment of indulgence. No judgment, just pure happiness in every bite. But Nutella isn't the only snack with a fascinating backstory. Take pita chips, for example. Unlike Nutella's wartime origins, pita chips were born out of something much simpler: the effort to reduce food waste. In the late 20th century, particularly in the United States, bakeries and vendors selling pita bread started experimenting with leftover or unsold loaves. Rather than throwing them out, they sliced the pitas into triangles, baked or fried them, and created a crunchy snack that quickly caught on. Inspired by the flavors of Middle Eastern cuisine, pita chips became an American favorite by the 1990s, especially as more people started dipping them into hummus, baba ganoush, and other Mediterranean spreads. Before long, major snack companies noticed the demand and began mass-producing them, offering dozens of flavors from classic sea salt to garlic parmesan to cinnamon sugar. The process of making pita chips on an industrial scale begins with the pita bread itself. Pita is made from simple ingredients: flour, water, yeast, salt, and sometimes olive oil. In large factories, machines knead massive batches of dough every hour, then divided into smaller portions rolled flat like pizza dough. The circles of dough are baked in ovens reaching up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. That blast of heat makes the bread puff up, forming its signature pocket. Once cooled, the pitas are cut into triangular slices, similar to slicing a pizza. Each round can yield 6 to 8 chips, and depending on the style, they may be kept double-layered for extra crunch or split into single layers. Before baking again, the pita triangles are coated lightly in oil, usually sunflower or olive oil, which helps them crisp up. Then comes the flavoring: a sprinkle of sea salt, a dash of garlic, or even a dusting of cinnamon sugar for a sweet twist. These seasonings turn plain pita into a snack with personality. Next, the chips are baked again or quickly fried until golden brown and crunchy. Baking is more popular among health-conscious brands as it uses less oil, while frying gives them an extra snap. Once cooked, they're cooled completely to preserve their crispiness and then packaged by automated machines that weigh, seal, and label dozens of bags per minute. Like Nutella, pita chips have gone global, now found in grocery stores worldwide. What makes pita chips appealing is how adaptable they are. Pair them with hummus, guacamole, or salsa, and they become the perfect vessel for bold dips. Crush them up, and they make a crunchy topping for salads or soups. Some people even use them as a base for nachos, replacing tortilla chips for a Mediterranean twist. Have you ever wondered how some of your favorite snacks, the ones you casually grab from the grocery store shelf or serve at a party, are actually made on a massive scale? From the creamy, nutty richness of hummus to the crispy crunch of pita chips and the light, airy snap of rice crackers, these foods feel so simple and familiar, yet behind every bite there's a fascinating story of culture, tradition, and technology. Today we're peeling back the curtain on the delicious world of Mediterranean dips and Asian-inspired crackers, taking you inside the factories where age-old recipes meet modern machines to produce snacks that millions of people across the United States and around the globe enjoy every single day. So the next time you dunk a pita chip into hummus or pop a rice cracker into your mouth, you'll know exactly how it came to be. Pita chips are one of those snacks that strike a perfect balance between simplicity and versatility. They're crunchy, flavorful, and sturdy enough to hold up to all kinds of dips. In the US, they've become a go-to choice at parties, game nights, and even as a quick snack between meals. Traditionally, pita bread has been a staple in Middle Eastern diets for thousands of years, but turning it into chips is a relatively modern invention. The process starts with baking soft rounds of pita bread, often made from wheat flour, yeast, salt, and water. Once baked, the pita is cut into triangles much like slicing a pizza. These wedges are then baked or fried until they turn into crispy golden chips. Factories produce them by the thousands, slicing through piles of pita with machines that can churn out perfectly uniform pieces in minutes. Once crisp, they're dusted with seasoning, sometimes just a touch of sea salt, but often flavored with garlic, herbs, or even spicy blends that make snacking irresistible. What makes pita chips so appealing is how versatile they are. They pair beautifully with savory dips like tzatziki, that creamy yogurt and cucumber dip with a refreshing tang, or baba ganoush, the smoky, earthy eggplant dip that's just as much about texture as it is flavor. Of course, their most famous partner in crime is hummus, and we'll dive into that creamy world in just a moment. But pita chips also work with cheese spreads, salsa, or the classic spinach and artichoke dip that's a guaranteed crowd pleaser at parties. For people with a sweet tooth, cinnamon sugar pita chips are a fun twist. Factories coat them in a fine blend of sugar and spice, bake them to a light crisp, and suddenly they become the perfect snack to dip into chocolate sauce, caramel, or even a fruit spread. You can crumble them over soups or salads for extra crunch or simply enjoy them straight out of the bag. Their ability to go both savory and sweet is exactly why pita chips have exploded in popularity in US snack aisles. But if pita chips are the perfect vehicle for dipping, then hummus is the undisputed star dip. This creamy blend of chickpeas, tahini, lemon, and garlic is more than just a spread. It's a food with centuries of history and cultural pride. While the exact birthplace of hummus is debated, Lebanon, Israel, Palestine, Syria, and Egypt all make claims. The dish is undeniably Middle Eastern at its core, with roots stretching back to at least the 13th century. Early recipes resembling modern hummus have been found in cookbooks from Cairo, showing just how deeply it has been woven into culinary traditions. Fast forward to today, and hummus has become a global phenomenon, especially in the United States, where it's prized as both a delicious dip and a health-conscious snack. The journey of hummus in modern factories starts with the humble chickpea, also known as the garbanzo bean. Factories often buy them dried in enormous bulk shipments, sometimes thousands of pounds at a time. Before anything else, these chickpeas are soaked in water for 8 to 12 hours, a step that softens them, reduces bitterness, and prepares them for cooking. Imagine vats so large they could hold an entire swimming pool's worth of beans slowly absorbing water overnight. That's the scale we're talking about. Once plump and ready, the chickpeas are cooked by boiling or steaming, usually for an hour or two, until they're creamy enough to mash into a smooth paste. Large industrial steamers handle hundreds of liters of chickpeas at a time, making the process efficient but still true to tradition. While the chickpeas are cooking and cooling, another critical ingredient is prepared: tahini. This rich paste made from ground sesame seeds adds a nutty depth to hummus, and it often makes up as much as a third of the final recipe. Combined with lemon juice, garlic, and a touch of olive oil or cumin, tahini transforms chickpeas into something truly special. In the blending stage, enormous high-speed mixers spin at thousands of revolutions per minute, whipping chickpeas and tahini into a light, velvety cream. The consistency is carefully controlled, with water or reserved cooking liquid added to keep it smooth. What's remarkable is how something that feels homemade and rustic is actually crafted at an industrial scale, with machines ensuring every tub is consistently creamy. Once the base hummus is ready, factories add different flavors to keep up with consumer demand. From roasted red pepper and caramelized garlic to adventurous varieties like beetroot or spicy jalapeno, there's a hummus for every taste bud. These mix-ins are folded in evenly, ensuring every bite delivers the right balance of flavor. The finished product is then portioned into containers by automated filling machines, sealed for freshness, labeled, and cooled. Within hours, tubs of hummus are packed into refrigerated trucks and sent across the country, landing in grocery stores from California to New York. With proper refrigeration, these tubs can stay fresh for 2 to 3 weeks, though most fans finish them much faster. In America, hummus has evolved beyond a dip. It's a lifestyle food. People spread it on sandwiches and wraps instead of mayo, giving meals a protein-packed creaminess with fewer calories. It's a hit with veggie sticks like carrots, cucumbers, and bell peppers, making healthy snacking easy. Some even pair it with rice cakes, toast, or falafel. Creative eaters use it as a base for salad bowls or even as a topping for grilled meats and roasted vegetables. At parties, hummus is often the centerpiece of a platter surrounded by pita chips, olives, and fresh veggies, proving that this centuries-old dish has found a permanent place in American kitchens. And speaking of crunch, let's travel eastward in culinary history to explore rice crackers, a snack that traces its origins back more than 1,000 years in Japan. Known as senbei, these crispy treats were first made during the Heian period, grilled over open flames and often flavored with soy sauce or sesame seeds. Their light, airy crunch and versatility made them beloved across Asia, eventually spreading to other regions. In the 20th century, Japanese immigrants brought rice crackers to the West, especially to Hawaii and California, where they quickly became a multicultural favorite. Today, rice crackers are enjoyed worldwide in countless varieties: sweet, salty, spicy, or even coated in chocolate. The production of rice crackers begins with high-quality rice, often glutinous or non-glutinous depending on the desired texture. Massive machines wash hundreds of kilograms of rice at a time, removing dust and excess starch to ensure the final cracker has a clean flavor. Once washed, the rice is soaked to soften it, then steamed or boiled until it turns sticky and pliable. Traditionally, this step could take hours, but modern factories use high-efficiency equipment to speed things along without sacrificing taste. The cooked rice is mashed into a paste-like dough and then pressed into shapes, round, square, or oval, using molds or rollers that cut thousands of crackers per hour. Next comes drying, a crucial step that ensures the crackers will crisp up instead of turning chewy. While traditional senbei were sun-dried, factories today use industrial drying ovens that remove moisture evenly. After drying, the crackers are baked or flame-grilled, a process that not only locks and crunch but also adds a subtle smokiness. Seasoning follows. soy sauce for a savory bite, sugar for sweetness, chili for spice, or sesame seeds for nuttiness. Some are even wrapped in sheets of nori seaweed or glazed with syrups. Machines can coat hundreds of crackers every minute, producing flavors that appeal to a wide audience. Once cooled, the crackers are sealed in airtight packaging to preserve their signature snap, ready to be shipped worldwide. Rice crackers, much like pita chips, are versatile snacks. In Japan, they're often enjoyed with green tea as a light afternoon pick-me-up. In the US, people munch on them plain, spread them with peanut butter or cream cheese, or use them as crunchy bases for toppings like tuna, avocado, or egg salad. Sweet varieties pair well with fruit or even chocolate dips, making them a fun treat for dessert. They're also gluten-free by nature, which has boosted their popularity among health-conscious snackers. Whether you're craving something salty, sweet, or spicy, rice crackers offer a guilt-free crunch that's both satisfying and light. From the smoky allure of baba ganoush to the creamy richness of hummus and the crispy crackle of pita chips and rice crackers, these foods prove that snacks are more than just filler, they're cultural icons with stories that stretch across centuries and continents. Thanks to modern factories, these once humble dishes can now be enjoyed by millions of people around the world. The next time you dip a pita chip into hummus or bite into a rice cracker, you'll know you're tasting more than just a snack. You're experiencing the perfect marriage of tradition, innovation, and flavor.